I wanted to share a video with everyone that I found fascinating, that was made by one of my oldest Flat Earth friends, who was there with me when I started my Flat Earth investigation. Here is my friend's channel, who goes by the name better known as Wrongthink. I'll have a link in the description. I definitely recommend you subscribe to his channel. Now, I have been a subscriber of another channel called Vibes of Cosmos for a couple of years now, I think, and I always found his primary premise worth considering, but I have not agreed with it. I have watched a lot of his videos, but I cannot say I've seen everything of his, but I think he was the first one who made this claim. You can correct me if I'm wrong about that. I'll have a link to the Vibes of Cosmos channel in the description as well. In short, the claim is that the moon's topography is somehow representative of the Earth's topography. In other words, the moon is somehow a real map of our world. Although I found the argument by Vibes of Cosmos thought-provoking, I have not agreed with it. But I always try to maintain an open but critical and objective mind. Flat Earth has certainly taught me to not judge ideas too quickly. Truth can come from anywhere, and the smallest channels. That said, my friend's video that you're about to watch makes the moon map claim a bit more plausible in my mind. I had never thought about the underwater topography aspect. I share it with my Flat Earth family, not because I want you to believe it, but so that you can likewise ponder it, reasonably debate it, and share your own thoughts and conclusions. My very intelligent friend has spent thousands of hours studying this topic and is 100% convinced that this is the smoking gun proof for the Flat Earth, and will be sharing more videos on the topic. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did.
Welcome to Cybernetical Physics Volume 1, an exercise in visual pattern recognition. Empiricism, a method of inquiry by which a postulation can be verified or disproved by direct evidence, measurement, or experiment. Core axioms. All maps are scale models of reality. Latitude and longitude are points on an Earth map projection that help you find a specific location. The scale of a map is the ratio used to correct the distance on the map projection to the corresponding distance on the ground. We now have empirical evidence of the true Earth map. The following is a series of Earth map projections. As a general rule, the horizontal red lines are latitude and the vertical red lines are longitude. As these lines intersect, they create bounded areas. The bounded areas of each projection cover the same area of Earth as the corresponding bounded areas on the other projections. The shapes of the bounded areas influence the shape of the continents contained therein. Despite the subtle differences, these are the same land masses. Here are several different projections of Africa. Notice the shape of the continent and the angles on the coastline changes. This is because of the coordinate system. When the bounded area is largely composed of wide rectangles, Africa becomes squat and wide. When the bounded area is largely composed of tall, thin rectangles, Africa becomes tall and thin. When the bounded areas containing Western Africa are thinner than the ones containing Central and Eastern Africa, Western Africa becomes noticeably more stout. The same thing happens with the other continents. The eastern edge of South America can be either pointed or flat, depending on the coordinate system. On the left is a cylindrical coordinate system, where the top line is the North Pole and the bottom line is the South Pole. Cylindrical map projections are the ones most people are most familiar with. On the right is a polar coordinate system, where the center point is the North Pole and the outermost circle is the South Pole. we can convert between coordinate systems. The top line in the cylindrical coordinate system becomes the central point in the polar coordinate system. The bottom line in the cylindrical coordinate system becomes the outermost circle in the polar coordinate system. The conversion also works in reverse. These conversions are easy to do in any image manipulation program, such as Photoshop or GIMP. If the geographic center, which is represented by the red dot, of the coordinate system is misaligned from the magnetic center, which is represented by the collapse point of the concentric latitudes, a waveform will be introduced in the conversion. This is analogous to the disparity between the magnetic and geographic north poles on Earth. In this coordinate system, the geographic center is different from the magnetic center of the coordinate system. Notice the waveform and the latitudes of the converted cylindrical projection. Even in the more exotic coordinate systems, the bounded areas cover the same areas of Earth. Equivalence between coordinate systems is verifiable by manipulating the bounded areas into the same shape. In order to convert A into B, we will first convert the polar coordinate system A into cylindrical coordinate system A', and we will convert polar coordinate system B into cylindrical coordinate system B'. B' has squares for every bounded area. Therefore, the bounded areas of A' must all be converted into squares. Upon converting the irregular bounded areas of A' into the regular squares of A', equivalence between A' and B' has been verified. Notably, the Americas have increased in size. Africa has shrunk slightly. South America and Australia have moved to the right, and Europe has moved to the left, all in accordance with straightening the zigzagging longitudes. Converting A' back to polar verifies equivalence between the original polar projection B as well. Even the largest ground-based objects, such as mountains and skyscrapers, shrink and fade to obscurity at distances of several dozen miles. In fact, only 2 objects are visible from every location on the surface of the Earth: the Sun and the Moon. The Sun is a source, a locus, if you will, of blinding light, more or less devoid of discernible features.